The name of the show is Showsha.
It's the platform, sir. It's News 18 Showsha.
How innovative and fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for calling me on your platform and calling me supremely talented. Nobody has ever called me that. And Shreeja, I'm going to quote you. People have been calling me names. See, if you were in drama school and you'd wanted to join business school, I realized much later that that wouldn't have been much of a problem. But if you're quitting business school and you're joining drama school,
Right.
that was problematic because drama school people were ensuring that this is not just, somebody's coming for the weekend entertainment.
Mhm.
And I had to go through strings of auditions and interviews and counseling before they accepted me. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. I am Shreeja Bhattacharya, and today I'm joined by the supremely talented Vinay Pathak. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me on your platform and calling me supremely talented. Nobody has ever called me that. And Shija, I'm going to quote you. People have been calling me names. And yes, and thank you. The name of the show is Shosha.
It's the platform, sir. It's News 18 Showsha.
How innovative and fantastic.
Thank you, sir. So I think it's always, been a conversation starter, especially with you. You were in business school back in New York when you decided,
Right.
try out theater. What transpired and how did you make that choice?
Yeah, Shija, I was young and stupid. I didn't know better. Okay. So I just went with my instinct and with my gut feeling. And I think when you're young and stupid, you do the darnest things. And I think it's one of the darnest things that I've done. And that's how it actually started, to be very honest. I went to see a play. I was in business school. I thought for one semester I'll take something light because lots of studying were happening. And I took a play analysis class just for
Mhm.
one semester.
Right.
And we were required to go watch plays and stub the tickets on our review and do the review and group discussion and talk about it and stuff like that, understand literature, understand art, understand theater. And one of the first plays that I went to see was Equus. um, and it just, yeah, it blew my mind away. It just erased everything that I had believed until then. um, my imaginary circumstance after that was just nil, nothing. As I said, I got blown away, and I decided, you know what? Since nobody's watching over me right now, I can make some rash, silly, morbid, stupid, and youngish kind of a decision
Mhm.
about myself and not worry about the consequences. And that's precisely what I did. I I quit business school and I joined drama school, for which see if you were in drama school and you'd wanted to join business school, I realized much later that that wouldn't have been much of a problem. But if you're quitting business school and you're joining drama school,
Right.
that was problematic because drama school people were ensuring that this is not just, somebody's coming for the weekend entertainment.
Mhm.
And I had to go through strings of auditions and interviews and counseling before they accepted me. Yeah. And that's that. I mean, I was being tested for my stupidity and I passed with flying colors, Srija. They said, yes, this fool is genuine. and,
I'm
and
sure. I'm
hence,
sure, sir. But it's
yeah.
been some time now, and looking back, is there a particular role that you've played on the stage which has left sort of a mark in your heart and which you hold very dear?
All of them, actually. In New York, getting cast in anything was a privilege because I was competing against all these fantastic artists, and I was still trying to fit in. A boy from Bihar and Eastern UP
Mhm.
whose first language is not English, who has learned the language that they all speak in, who still um gets fever when he has to prepare for Shakespeare, and and so against all odds. So everything that I got cast in, from a very small part to the leads, I hold all of them very dearly because it was all, as you said, supremely learning experience. And I did all kinds. I did classics. I did Shakespeare. I did Chekhov. I did contemporary playwrights. I did one acts. I did full plays, and I did gags and Greek mythology. You just name it, all kinds. And yeah, I hold all of them very dearly.
I'm sure, sir. And I have to also ask you, how
You
different.
have to.
Yes, sir.
Who
Uh,
is putting a gun to your head, Shreeja?
how differently do you treat yourself as an actor when you're preparing for the stage and when you're preparing for the camera? Are those two very different processes that you follow, or are they quite alike to one another? Could you take us
See,
through?
there's certain basic things that you have to do as an actor or whatever is it that you're acting. But then, according to the medium, certain requirements are different.
Mhm.
So the physical presence of the rehearsals is more crucial and essential in theater than it is otherwise. I'm talking about preparation. Then the uh, the prep for cinema is so completely different. If you if you're familiar with the medium and how much of an awareness you have with the camera, the lenses, the position, the different magnifications, the marks, and how you hit them without actually
Mhm.
hitting them, and listening to not just your director's instructions, but also very crucially and importantly your cinematographer's direction, because he's the one who's actually capturing you, and understanding basically this relationship with you and the lens that we are creating right now. We're establishing this relationship that where am I looking and where am I looking now, and I'm looking at you and how it's looking, me looking at you. These are all an aspect of your preparation for cinema. Whereas for theater, it's completely different. You need to again the understand the physical nuances of stage, what kind of stage it is. It is proscenium, it's thrust, it's arena, it's black box, it's a big coliseum, or what your physical action or activity, how much of that transcends into connecting with the audience, and all your audiences are sitting differently, so you cannot discriminate against the audience who are sitting in the front row and who are sitting in the last row, or who have bought more expensive ticket who haven't. So yeah, it's not about that, but you need to have that awareness. So those kind of preparations are different. But then that's what the craft is. That's what you learn, and you keep learning every day. It doesn't stop. After being uh, the the fool for so many years, you still realize one day, wait a second, I needed to do that in order to achieve that, in order to. So it's still, it's still, and not just stage, but camera as well. It still teaches you something every time you do a job.
What is the relationship that you share with Shakespeare? How and when did it start for you?
It's It's a very toxic one. Um, very, very toxic one. Shakespeare is a guy who, A, not alive anymore. He's dead. I wish he was alive so that I could confront him and, have my whatever tete-a-tete with him.
Mhm.
Secondly, he became something to play with much later in my career. Initially, he was a requirement. He was something to fear. He was something to look up to, and also mysterious, and because he's about so many things, you really didn't know. And then more you get into him, you realize that, dude, he's a better sport than you and I ever thought that he was. He's all about playing. He's not about reading or
Mhm.
um, he's about playing. Shakespeare, everything Shakespeare has written, he's written it for to be performed on stage. And you realize that, slowly and steadily, older you grow, and like, oh my God, it's not about understanding it's about playing it and finding your own interpretation. Of course, the story is there, and but how he plays the story is what's exciting and also very gratifying, in the sense that you end up, even if you don't want to, learning, a thing or two, and they're all very highly exciting things to learn, which weren't exciting when we were in college or university and we had to do Macbeth for your final paper, and like, oh my God, could we do something easy? But yeah, Shakespeare is mysterious because you thought you can't understand him, but then you realize, oh, dude, he's about playing, so then he's fun.
Right.
I don't
And
know if I answered your question.
and you've given such, brilliant twists to Shakespearean tales over time, that twists that are really fitting in the contemporary setting, if you look at it. Uh, while doing so, were you ever concerned about the reaction that you would garner from the audience or the critics?
Worrying about audiences and critics. Um, I've heard that lots of people do, but look at his face. I mean, you think somebody like me would become an actor to, not to seek or chase stardom, but to have fun and learn. And yeah, I mean, if audiences are not getting in, they're reacting a certain way, it's their right to. And lots of times, even they need to learn. And I, as a Shakespeare audience, learned a whole lot more when I was watching the fifth Shakespeare play that I watched. So, learning is not one sided here. Learning is, twofold, multifold. So, no, I don't worry. Maybe, I should, but no, it doesn't bother me that how people are going to take it, because if they don't like it, they don't like it. If they like it, great. We have to keep working towards doing what we really want to do. The conviction, has to come from within us. Otherwise, what's the point?
True. Can we talk a little about your association with the Delhi Theatre Festival? And without giving much away, we would love for you to, talk a little about Nothing Like Clear that you'll be performing at the Delhi Theatre Festival.
Well, without giving much away, I can uh, very confidently say that it's nothing like the original Lear. That's why we're calling it Nothing Like Lear. But it is everything what King Lear uh, had set in to be all about. Uh, if you have read the play or if you have watched it, wherever you have, and if you are familiar with all the elements, all the nuances of what the play is talking about, uh, initially about a father-daughter relationship, but also the thematic aspects of relationships and aging and blindness and all of that, madness, um, the possessiveness, of a relationship, everything, everything. And so that's why we do claim that it's a complete adaptation of King Lear, but again, it's a fool's adaptation. So it's nothing like Lear.
Right. And before we conclude, do you sort of have a dream for Indian theatre?
Uh, I have a dream for myself vis-a-vis Indian theatre. Uh, that I get to keep doing theatre as long as I can. B, that we have a theatre space in each and every city of our country, big town, small town, big city, B towns as they call it. Even in villages and countryside, it'll be lovely to have a performance space where we have so many theatre professionals and theatre practitioners. And in a country like ours, where there's so many people, and everybody's looking to get entertained a little bit. Everybody's looking to hear that story or tell that story, and I think it'll be fantastic. Like how you have movie theaters everywhere, wherever you go. There's one movie theater or the other, right? And they're growing. So yeah, there should be a theater space for all kinds of theater to happen. If I'm allowed one dream,
Mhm.
to dream, this would be it.
That's a wonderful dream to have, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you so
Thank you,
much
Shreeja.
for joining us today.
Thank you, Shreeja. Onek, dhanyavad. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.